This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Part of being a leader, political leader, we'll get specific about it, is representation of a constituency. Obviously, I mean, that goes unsaid. But the other part is leadership within the community that you serve, within the community that you represent. And in the wake of the Uvalde shooting, where nearly 24 students and teachers were slaughtered at the hands of a gunman, Governor Greg Abbott, the family values leader of the Republican Party, has not gone to a single funeral for anyone who was murdered that day. Not one of the teachers, not a single child. I would say not a single cop, but they did nothing. So there was no cop to go to the funeral of. The Houston Chronicle did a write-up on this, and I have a clip from Roland Gutierrez, who's a state senator in the state of Texas, who's calling out Greg Abbott and others, frankly, who are not doing their jobs. Listen, it's one thing for your thoughts and prayers to be offered up as some kind of a solution. That we've gotten used to that political babble, gum flapping. But where the rubber hits the road and you actually give some aid and comfort, emotional comfort to families grieving, he's AWOL. He's nowhere to be found. Doing nothing. I mean, he's got all kinds of time to make appearances on Fox News, but no time for the granular details that make up what is important about being governor of a massive state like Texas. I'm going to read a little bit from this Houston Chronicle article. Governor Greg Abbott did not attend funerals for any of the Uvalde shooting victims. State Senator Roland Gutierrez, who represents Uvalde, says the governor, quote, did not go to one single funeral, and quite honestly, many of the families didn't want him there. This is an abdication of duty. This is an ignoring of one's obligations to those constituents he claims to represent, he claims to care about. Governor Greg Abbott did not attend a single funeral for any of the 19 children or 2 teachers killed in a mass shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas on May 24th, according to his schedule, which was obtained through an open records request by ABC News. So this isn't some political hit job that people are just making claims that aren't true. His official schedule has him elsewhere. Abbott's schedule for May 25th to June 14th indicates that his last visit to Uvalde was on June 5th to attend a community worship event at Uvalde County Fairplex. However, missing from the schedule is any mention of Uvalde victim funerals. The last funeral held in Uvalde for victims was on June 16th, when 11-year-old Layla Salazar was laid to rest. In a Monday interview with MSNBC, State Senator Roland Gutierrez, who represents Uvalde, criticized Abbott for not returning to the South Texas town and alleged that Abbott has not been back since May 25th, when President Joe Biden also visited a public vigil in Uvalde, rather than June 5th, as the governor's schedule suggests. Quote, I don't want this to sound like some political assault on him, but at the end of the day, he hasn't been there since day 5 when the president came. We had a failed response on giving resources to families, Gutierrez said. Quote, he did not go to one single funeral, and quite honestly, many of the families didn't want him there. It goes deeper than that, though. This isn't just about what many would believe to be metaphorical lip service by a governor just attending a service, a memorial service. Gutierrez he did the MSNBC interview, but I found his appearance on CNN to be more insightful to some of the issues that we're facing right now relative to Greg Abbott's dysfunction as a governor. Watch this.
The Department of Public Safety Director is a direct report to Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott has the power, and by the way, I'm sure Greg Abbott saw those videos a long time before we all did. But he has the direct power to go and ask for accountability, the direct power to go ask what happened here. Why didn't you tell people to go in? Why didn't your supervisors tell people to go in? He has the direct power to get any kind of report that he wants. He's the governor of the state of Texas. And he has refused to step in. Since day 3, he hasn't been back to Uvalde. And he's refused to ask for any kind of accountability here. And he's done nothing but put obstacles in this district attorney and other people that he's put in place that have just devastated this community. We have to get to the bottom of this, but it begins at the top in Texas. We are 26 days away from school starting, and we have yet to have this governor call a special session to raise an age limit from 18 to 21 on access to AR-15s.
Senator, I'm going to let you go, but did you just say that the governor of Texas has not been to the scene of the shooting since the 3rd day after it happened?
That's correct, ma'am. He did not go to any single funeral. He never has come back since his second news conference, which would have been on Friday after that Tuesday.
What is more important than assisting the grieving families who have lost their children? What could Greg Abbott be doing? Greg Abbott, again, who has time to go on Fox News. What are you doing, Greg? But it goes deeper than just the failure on his part to attend to grieving constituents. It goes to the fact that he is throwing up roadblocks. He is being an impediment to the investigation. He's allowing for these cops, almost 400 of which stood there with their thumbs in their asses doing nothing while children were killed. Cowards. Visiting the hand sanitizer station. I'm glad they were able to have sanitized hands. Greg Abbott and the rest of the Texas delegation, Ted Cruz, Ken Paxton, Dan Patrick, all of these ghouls should be ashamed of themselves. If the Republican Party wasn't such a dignity-free operation, they would have some shame. It is gross. It is damaging. It is not just trauma-inducing. It is a legacy of trauma. Re-infliction of emotional distress and damage on people who want nothing better, nothing more than to heal, than to have some sense of closure, if you will. I'm not a fan of the term, but for lack of a better one. Greg Abbott, a failure of a politician. What do you think? I would especially love to know what you think if you live in Texas, especially if you live in the Uvalde area. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. You can absolutely email me, daily@dollemore.com. I appreciate your time and attention. Follow me on social media. We can mix it up there too. I am at Dollemore on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok at Dollemore. And if I bring you value, if I am someone who adds to your day, please consider supporting my work. You can click the join button below, become a channel member, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Both those are great ways to help support and produce what I do right here on the channel. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. Got a lot of work ahead of us, especially you in Texas. I hope we are prepared. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.